going to be my review of Venom Lethal Protector. Why? I don't know why. My whole brain just went, what the hell? So, anywho, this is, for those who don't know, this is the first 6-part miniseries that's had Venom as the main character. This is right after the events where he left to become the Lethal Protector in San Francisco. And I gotta say, this is also written by Dave Michelinie, who did a very good job with writing alongside Todd McFarlane. They did a run together in the 90s Spider-Man comics, and as well as Mark Bagley on artwork. And I don't think I need to say anything about Mark Bagley's awesome artwork on anything Spider-Man related. So, Venom, the first 6-part miniseries that pretty much kicked off the whole, we're gonna make Venom an awesome anti-hero. Won't that be great? It's extreme! So, I read this comic, and I reread it. I read it once, I liked it, reread it a second time, and I kind of noticed the flaws in this book. Now, I do like this. I like it, it's a fun romp, and, you know, Eddie Brock, it's always cool to, you know, look back and see Eddie Brock as, you know, the original Venom. And, you know, I'm not here to compare him and Flash Thompson as Venom, even though, you know, Flash Thompson Venom is pretty fucking epic. But I never compared Flash Thompson with Eddie Brock as Venoms. I can't say, because they're both equally awesome. They're a hell of a lot better than Mac Gargan Venom, I'll say that. But yeah, it's always cool to look back at, you know, the good old days with Eddie. So, this comic, like I said, has flaws, because the reason why I say this is because it's more or less because the fact that Michelinie tries to cram so many ideas into a 6-issue miniseries, and I feel like someone was trying to make this a Venom ongoing because there were so many Venom limited series. I feel like if you put them all together, that would feel like an actual Venom ongoing, and I feel like Marvel was kind of like on the fence about doing a Venom ongoing, so they just went with the miniseries, and I feel like everything after that just felt like a miniseries from then on. So in that aspect, it felt kind of weird that, you know, the first 6 issues there were so many ideas, because I feel like Michelinie had all these ideas, because I feel like if he did a Venom romp, if there was an actual Venom ongoing, or rather a Venom, if this was a maxi series, I feel like he would have gotten all these story ideas out in 12 issues rather than pack them all down to 6, or at least an entire run. Because, you see, the fact of the matter is, there are so many, like I said, there are so many ideas. Like, of course, we've got Venom coming to San Francisco, we've got people after the symbiote, we've got the jury, we've got the multiple symbiotes, we've got the underground city of the that belongs to the old, you know, it belongs to the homeless people, and it's right under, you know, it's old 19th century San Francisco that's sunk underground and was built over it, and everyone thought it was destroyed. It's kind of like a, you know, it's kind of a beneath thing, and Venom's trying to find acceptance into this town. So, and it's also cool to see how Michelinie tackles Eddie Brock's aspect, because you clearly tell this man is crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You just by listening to himself and listening like, I'm such a great superhero, Eddie Brock is clearly off his fucking rocker. So, but however, you know, I can't complain about the art, and I can't complain about the whole Spider-Man thing. That's the other thing. Bringing in Spider-Man in here, it felt kind of contrived when they explained, oh, I'm here because you're here, Venom, and there are some good fight scenes between him and Venom, but the one thing that bothers me, and this is the main thing I have with issue 6 specifically, is because basically on the cover, it has this epic cover of Venom and Spider-Man look like they're going to fight, and it says on issue 6 of the cover, and I own all 6 separate issues, and on the cover it says, this is not their last battle, but it will be their most epic. Guess how long the fight is? 2 pages long. That's it. That is literally it. And then Spider-Man kind of just leaves after Venom disappears after their fight. And it's all about Venom trying to save the city, you know, the underground city. And like I said, there's so much going on. The Venom, the multiple symbiotes. I feel like if they just stuck with Venom fighting Jury, or Venom fighting at least the multiple symbiotes they could have done later on down the road, I felt like there was no threat factor with the multiple symbiotes. Scream, on the other hand, you could have done the whole miniseries about Scream, and it would have been interesting. Without Spider-Man, I mean, you could have or could have not done without Spider-Man in here. and you still could have done this with just Venom confronting Scream. Like, basically, maybe you could have done Michelinie could have done something like Venom taking responsibility in kind of sense that this is his new child. You know, Carnage had recently been born, so quote unquote born, excuse me. So maybe it'd be kind of like Venom in here trying to take charge with Scream, since, you know, this is technically the symbiote's daughter. You know, we can change her to use her to fight Carnage and fight for justice and all this. But I feel like that would have been interesting. I'm not saying Michelinie's a bad writer. I just feel like there were so many things going for this comic book that I feel like it kind of outweighs itself, and it does feel very squished together in 6 issues. Jury felt like an actual threat for a little bit, but then they just kind of forget about Jury for the multiple symbiotes, and then they kind of go to the Venom rivalry, the Venom Spider-Man rivalry, and then they kind of just, oh yeah, we have an underground city to save. Let's go do that, symbiote. So it is like that. And as always, you know, Mark Bagley's artwork, I've said this earlier, but Mark Bagley's artwork is always awesome. I love his artwork. He's an amazing artist. Michelinie is also a very good writer, that's just my opinion. And there were some generally good ideas in here, but the thing is like, this is the time period when they wanted to make Venom into an anti-hero, and Venom works better as a villain, so you could have done this as Venom, you know, horribly killing people. You could have done this as like a Punisher with, or, you know, you could have done this as a straight villain book. I don't know. They could have done this as a straight villain book, but in all fact of the matter is, it is still a good book. I will say that. It's still a fun read, but you're going to, you know, if you ever own this book and, you know, read this comic book and go, man, there were so many ideas in here. I feel like there were so many ideas, and like I said, that's what really I hold against this book. That's my main reason. And granted, if Michelinie stuck with one consistent plot, I feel like that could have done a whole lot better. And this is a lot memorable than the other Venom miniseries. I know I don't own them, so if you please, anyone in the comment section below, please don't ask me to, you know, do more Venom miniseries review, because this is the only one I own. I do own separate issues of other miniseries like Funeral Pyre with him and Punisher, the one issue of that, and I do own one called The Madness, which is Venom versus Juggernaut, and a few other demon stuff. But that is literally only just 1 or 2 issues of each miniseries. I can't go out and find them. You know, these are actually pretty hard to find, and I do like the Venom miniseries here and there. I mean, some of them are bad, but some of them are just fun to read. This is a fun read regardless. Again, it's just fun to kick back and relax and look at some good old-fashioned Eddie Brock Venom justice. And that's really all I can say about this. So that's pretty much all I can say about this review. Later.